Hey guys, Donnie D here. I know it's been a while, had a lot going on in my life, but thank you for sticking around. Thanks for tuning into this video. This video is going to be on this curbless shower that I built right here. I'm going to show you how I prepped it. I pretty much took footage of this whole job, so these clips are just going to be actually me talking in the video, and not just in the clip, and not just a voiceover like I'm doing right now. So this is going to be a series of videos here because I have days of footage of this project. So what I'm going to do is just do one video and maybe anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes of time duration there to show you how I went about building this curbless shower on this concrete slab. So again, thanks for tuning in. Please watch the video through. If you have any questions at all, please leave in the comments. And I do check the comments every now and then and respond. And that's it. I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, so here we are, ready to start prepping this bad boy. I spread the dirt roughly around. Want to get it flat roughly. Doesn't got to be perfect, but the flatter the better. And I got this is actually 3.5 inch, but it measures 4.5 inch, and that's what I need the opening for the sluicer drain. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it out. I'm going to cut the 2-inch pipe down pretty far actually. Then I'll put a coupling on it. That way I can glue in my drain after everything is said and done. So that's the plan right now. I'm debating which way I want to do this, but I don't know. I'm kind of debating here. I might even leave the 2-inch standing up and then the 4 around it, because it's going to be hard for me to glue if it's down too far. So I'm debating which way I actually want to do this. I'll figure it out here. Okay, so I'm going to do first is get the dirt around roughly even here. Here. Would be a good idea if I had like a rake here to move it around, but I don't. So I'm gonna use what I got, do what I gotta do here. So I don't know what you call this exactly, but it's some kind of pounder stamper. That's what I'm gonna use to get this just the way that I want it. Okay, now I got that done. I'm gonna see if I can drill this concrete. For the rebar, it's pretty thin. It's only about 2 inches over here. It's a little bit thicker over there. So I'm just going to try to do it. If I can't, no big deal. What are you going to do? I'm going to keep it low though, low as I can the concrete without it cracking. So that way it stays in the concrete bed and not my mortar bed for the tile install. So that's next. Okay, now I'm ready to cut the drain. What I decided is dig out some dirt in the center there, take my straight edge and subtract how far I want it to go down. So whatever your furthest distance is, you need 1/4 inch per foot, and then you gotta measure how deep that sluicer flange goes down with the pipe coming out, and do all that math to make sure you have it at the right depth. It's real important that you do that. You can always have it lower and do an extension and adapter and glue it in. You just don't want it too far, because once I pour the concrete in here, you have to basically reach in there to glue it in when you do the mud work. So just add, take your time with this, make sure everything is measured out correctly, and then cut the pipe and make sure you get a nice square cut. So I do that, make sure everything is square, prime it, glue it, and then we're good to go. Okay, so now everything is down, tamped down, far as we can get it. And now this is a step that you really want to take when you're pouring concrete over dirt. You could use rock and all that kind of stuff. Essentially, you don't want the concrete, touching the dirt ideally. That way it cures properly and doesn't get, you know, contaminants in it with the dirt and mixes with that, and just not the same. So you always want to put some kind of vapor barrier down. I'm just using, I think this is 4mm plastic I had in my trailer at the time. You can use a contractor's bag if you don't. Those are usually like 2 or 3mm thickness. I believe I'm using 4mm here. You just don't want it to be able to, you know, go through it and, you know, get onto the dirt or whatnot. So I'm putting that down, and then I go from there with the concrete. Okay, now that that's all prepped, now we're ready for the rebar. Now I got my holes drilled out, and what you want to do is you want to use this special material they have at your box stores. It's basically an epoxy that mixes together as you squeeze it out. Now, one thing I'll tell you is that when you do use this stuff, it sets up very quick in a tube. So as soon as you open the tube, you want to kind of use the whole thing, because otherwise, as you use it, it just will be harder and harder to get out of the tube. It really gets stiff in there. So I'm doing just, you know, putting my caulk tube down in there and making sure I'm filling the hole really well with epoxy. And then I'm inserting the rebar, make sure it's all the way in there. And then I do that across the whole thing where all my rebar sits in, making a really solid connection here to the new poured concrete. Okay, the epoxy is already set up. It's hard in there. So I bent the bars down. I don't want them tight to the ground. I want them up a little bit so the concrete get under it, so I lock everything in. So that's what I did. I bent them down, bent them up a tiny bit. I'm just going to mark roughly how much I want to pour in here on this PVC pipe. Okay, I'm ready to go. Start pouring this bad boy. Got water ready. Okay, I'm going to try to keep this video, guys, under 15 minutes, but everything is prepped, ready to go on this project right now. We are ready for the concrete. So, you know, when I mix the concrete, I try to go by the bag, what the water ratio is. Ideally, you want to do that. You can add a little bit of water here and there, but you just don't want to make it soupy. That's important because it's not as strong. So I'm just going to mix it up and pour it in there, and then I'm going to show you how I finish it off. I'm just checking right now also that everything is where it needs to be. Okay, now we're mixing the concrete. Now I'm mixing according to the instruction on the bag for the most part. Sometimes add a little bit more to really see how the mixture is coming out, but what's real important, you know, this stuff has a lot of silica in it, and just like I do with my tile mortar setting materials, I have my vacuum attachment there to suck up all the dust. Especially when you're inside and you're outside, you still want to use it, but it's not as crucial as you are when you're inside because there's nowhere to go. So pretty straightforward here. I'm just going to mix up 1 to 2 bags at a time, dump it in there, spread it out. So this takes some time. I'm going to kind of skip through this, then show you. Believe it or not, I went through about 14 bags or so, and they were only 50-pound bags. If I do it again, do 80-pound, but you know, my back has good days and bad days, and at this time I was not having a great day. So I got the 50-pound bags, and I used about 14 of them. So I got everything in here, and I'm going to spread it out and make sure I have it at the height that I need. Okay, so that's it. We're definitely at least 2 inches, if not more, about 2.5 at the drain. Some other spots about 1.5 inches. That'll be fine. We'll fill the rest in with some 4-to-1. I got about 5 bags here. I think I'm going to need more, so pick up some more and go from there. Look at this drain a little bit. We don't want it to. We want to be able to get this out tomorrow. Let this set up. Put a black bag over it. Garbage bag, trap the moisture, help it dry slower. Okay, that's it. Rubber plastic, good to go.